Am I wrong for throwing away my husband's dinner after he went to eat at his mom's house? My mother-in-law calls every night to ask what we're having for dinner. Then she brags about what she's cooking to make me look bad, especially if we're getting takeout. I used to care, but not anymore. My husband would ask me to make dinner, only for him to go to his mom's house, which is only 10 minutes away, and eat her food. He always tries to use the excuse that she's making my favorite meal. Yesterday, I wanted to surprise him by cooking one of his favorite meals, and although I was busy, I took time off work to cook. I even went grocery shopping to get what I needed. Later, as I was setting the table, his mom called. I told him that he didn't have to answer, but he did. Like usual, she asked what we were having, but acted surprised that I cooked this meal. She then went on to tell him that she cooked some sort of meal and told him to come over. He said, okay, which shocked me. I said, seriously? As he started dressing up, getting ready to leave, he told me, no offense, but this meal that his mom had cooked was even more of a favorite than the one I cooked, and grabbed his keys and left. I felt awful. I took his plate and threw it out and then ate my portion. As I was about to put the plate in the dishwasher, he got home looking angry, saying his mom lied about cooking that favorite meal and used it as an excuse to force him to have dinner with her. I was shocked, but then he sat down telling me to go ahead and reheat dinner. Please, okay, your ass left. You ain't getting no dinner. I told him no dinner after he abandoned it and I threw it out. He said, what? And I told him that he disrespected my time and effort by choosing to go eat with his mom instead. He began yelling at me, asking me if I really did that, and then called me petty and horrible, then went upstairs saying what I did was 100 times worse than what his mom did. I definitely feel like I let my anger and frustration get the best of me, but it really felt unbearable having to live like this for so long. By the way, I'm 26 and he's 28. To make one thing clear, my husband only does this when it comes to food. Am I wrong for telling my sister I will no longer give her my breast milk? I, 28 female, had a stillbirth 5 weeks ago. My sister gave birth to a healthy baby boy 4 weeks ago. After my stillbirth, I was producing milk and pumping, and my sister couldn't breastfeed after her son was born. Formula shortage was awful, and I was literally throwing my milk away, so I offered it to my sister, and she gladly accepted. I was advised by the doctors to pump for 3 weeks after the stillbirth to prevent problems for me. And then stop. Otherwise, I just keep producing milk. Due to the formula shortage, I have been pumping for 5 weeks now to give the milk to my sister. Now that there is more formula in stock and she has been able to go buy it, I told her I'll stop pumping. She told me her son has stomach problems after the formula and asked me to keep pumping. I told her I emotionally cannot handle it any longer. She said I am being selfish and she already has to feed her son by bottle because she at first suggested I just nurse him for his daily feedings at least. We live next door and I refused. I told her I am sorry and I can pump for a few more days so she can put some in the freezer and have some backup until she finds a better formula for her son. But she said breast milk is the healthiest and I should just help her out. She called me a selfish asshole and said that I am the embodiment of misery loves company. What? How can people say this to their own sister? My mother feels I should help my own sister out. My husband said my sister is way out of line. I feel really awful because I could still help her out and I know she needs it. Oh, heck no. You did her more than enough by giving 5 weeks of milk when you were supposed to stop at 3. And she's, the entitlement is like blowing my mind. If she wants to give her kid breast milk, she needs to try harder to feed him. Like, why is she putting that on you? Do you know how much of a strain it is on your body, on your day? You have to go about your whole day going around trying to pump because you're producing. Oh, get out of here. She needs to take a chill pill.
My husband has a second family. The ultimate cliche has happened in my life and I'm absolutely broken. My husband, my rock, has been having an affair for over 17 years. We've been married for over 25 years. We have 3 beautiful children, 2 in college and 1 who still lives at home. But turns out he's had another set this whole time. My husband is an insurance broker and he has multiple branches over the country, which he spends week on, week off. Turns out on his week off, he's been with his other family in Albuquerque, where his other branch is. He's got a fiance whom he has 2 kids with, both in their early teens. I found out when I went to make a new Facebook account, and when I searched my husband's first name, another profile with another last name popped up, and through that profile were the links to his fiance and his other kids' Facebook. My husband is currently with said family, and I know it's him because his most recent post is a photo of him and that other family eating dinner. Among those photos were photos of him kissing the girl and him being fatherly with the kids who look nearly identical to my husband. I am already broken. Almost every part of me wants to scream in his face and reprimand him for ruining my life, but another part of me wants to pretend to be ignorant and let it be. because our life is peaceful. He's good with our kids. He's the main source of financial income. He's loving, but he's also all those things to another family. Not only would I be tearing a gaping hole in my family, I'd be opening a vortex for them too. My heart is in shambles. I've never cried so much in my life. My youngest son is currently on a graduation trip with friends, and I'm alone till my lying, cheating, bastard husband comes home. My life is absolutely wrecked. It's literally a movie plot. I'm hoping he'll just come home and it'll be a big misunderstanding why he's kissing a woman with a ring on her finger. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm tempted to pack a bag and just leave. I can't be in the home where we've raised our kids, where we've spent every Christmas for the last 26 years, and where I've been alone on New Year's taking care of our babies while he works his ass off. I just can't. I want to leave a note for him to come home to, hurt him like he's hurt me, but I don't think that's possible. I don't know how I'll ever face him again.
Oh my gosh.
I can't imagine being in that situation and having the power over your emotions to say, like, I wish I could just put it and like have him come back. Like you instantly start putting others in front of you.
I don't know how she has such restraint.
Right.
I can't get past the part where she's like, I want to look the other way. That part, I just couldn't. After that, everything kind of became moot to me for some reason, because I was like, the fact that she's even considering that, I feel like this is fully her being a mother and thinking that this is what she needs to do for her family and her children.
It's just at what,
what's
the threshold? Yes. What's the threshold?
My boyfriend and I have been together for about a month, and his mom never lets us do anything. We're both in our late teenage years, me being 15 and him almost 16. Ever since his mom found out, we can't do anything together. I can't go over to his house, I can't hug him when he's upset, and I can't even have any quality time with him outside of a town church group. I'm not even Christian, but it's the only way that I can ever see him. She says that she's protecting her son from some sort of misunderstanding, as if he's going to do something horrible to me, when I've known him the entire school year and been a close friend of his up until we started dating. For example, she flipped out on me after I went to comfort him after she had just gotten done screaming at him, and I mean screaming, for us being in his room. I gave him a simple hug, which I only offered, and she freaked out at me over it, saying, I'm his mother, I'm the only one who comforts him, and made me stand in his kitchen for 20 minutes while she yelled at him again about how it's her house and her rules, then going on to say that he had no say in what he could and couldn't do with anything relating to me. I'm going to see him later today at a birthday party, and his mom is going to be with him and his little brother. She's also sent me several rude messages regarding me changing her son and making him think he can do whatever he wants, when all I've done is comfort him and try to make him feel better about how much she verbally abuses him. I'm lost and I don't know what to do. I, 36 female, have a daughter, Sadie, 12, with my ex-husband, John, 39. We got divorced 5 years ago, and I have primary custody while he sees her 2 weekends a month. Last year, he got married to Amanda, who has sole custody of her kids, 10 and 8 female, from a previous marriage. Amanda is a stay-at-home mom, not for any health reasons or so on. She just doesn't want to work, while John works 9 to 5. He makes good money to support them, but not enough to live in luxury. I have a much higher paying job. Since it's just me and Sadie, I make sure that she has the best possible life. She goes to a private school, set up her college fund, and she has much better things than most kids, phones, clothes, etc. I still manage to raise her to be humble and not take things for granted, and she's one of the hardest working people I know, always making sure to get good grades and keep her room tidy. Well, the last few times she came back after a weekend at John's, I noticed that the clothes she was bringing back in her duffel are A, not her size, and B, much cheaper and poorer quality than what I usually buy for her. I asked her why that is, and she told me that while she's at her dad's, Amanda takes away her nice clothes and gives them to her kids while Sadie gets the clothes they buy from Target. I asked her if she wanted them back, but she said that she didn't mind sharing since all of her favorite clothes were kept here. The problem came when I went to pick her up last weekend. I had a business meeting and I couldn't drive her over, so Amanda offered to just pick Sadie up from school, which hadn't happened before. When I got there on Sunday, John and Amanda asked me to sit down with them, and when Sadie came to hug me, Amanda sent her to her room quite harshly, saying her punishment wasn't over yet. I was confused because Sadie very rarely misbehaves. They sat me down in the kitchen and said that it was unfair for Sadie to be going to a private school while her kids go to a public one, so they decided that Sadie would be pulled out of private school and put in the same school as the girls. They also said I should keep up Sadie's punishment because when they told her, she blew up at them, told them it wasn't fair, and yelled that Amanda and her kids weren't even her real family, all they did was steal. I told them in no uncertain terms to fuck off. I would not be pulling my child out of a school she likes away from her friends because they can't afford it. I told them that they could easily make as much money as me if Amanda started working in her field because she has the qualifications and the job market is very good. I told them that their money problems are not my issue, and if Sadie's items get stolen again or they try to pull her out of school, I'll be taking this to court. They've been blowing up my phone ever since, calling me a selfish asshole, and after telling the story to my friend, he told me that I was rubbing my success in their face, but I still don't feel like I did anything wrong. Am I the asshole for telling my ex that his lack of money is not my issue?
Am I the asshole for taking my wife's side after she screamed and cursed at my mom? I, 33 male, am married to my wonderful wife, Melody, 29 female. She is currently pregnant with our first child together. I also have a 6-year-old daughter, Tina, whose mother I split 50-50 custody with. So I know what Melody needs in order to feel supported while she carries our child. I've been spending a lot of time making sure she's comfortable and taking on more of the load at home so she's not doing too much. My mother and Melody don't get along, and my mom didn't like my ex either. She's very nitpicky about Melody and how much she does around the house and how emotional she is. The fact that she wants to be a stay-at-home mom, and it just seems like nothing Melody does is okay. Am I the asshole for taking my wife's side after she screamed and cursed at my mom? I stand up for her and do not just allow my mom to talk down on her. Today, before picking up my daughter from summer camp, Melody went to 3 different grocery stores to find rotisserie chicken. She's been talking about it since last night and really wanted one. She sent me picture messages documenting her quest for the chicken and finally found it. My girl was happy. She was planning on serving that with some other basic sides for dinner, which is perfectly fine by me. My mom came by to see Tina and started telling Melody the chicken is bad for her and she shouldn't be eating that pregnant. Melody says she usually eats healthy and just wants one thing she's craving.